let's have a quick look at the new acquisition, which is the Shoei NXR2 helmet. Previously had a Shoei XR1100 for many years, too many years obviously, and I sort of when I saw this come out, I read the reviews, everything was good, everything's saying it's wonderful. Obviously it's the EC22.06 specification. It's nice and light, much the same as the XR11 in that respect, I guess. The only downside I see at this present point in time is the putting a comms unit on is no good, because it's got these, like, I guess they're wind deflectors, I don't know what they are. It's something to keep it quiet, I'm guessing. So that is a problem, and I did have a look at the speaker access, and the Sennheiser speakers don't fit in there. Obviously you could sort of glue them so they sit proud. I don't know whether that would be a thing to do, but at this point in time I'm not bothered about that. It's not going to cause me any great angst, because I really wanted a helmet that was clean of that, and certainly for the first couple of months I'll run it with no comms, no cameras, no nothing, everything being on this existing helmet which I'm wearing now, just trying out the drift. And this one I want to be just a clean helmet, nothing on it. So all good as far as I can see. It fits tight as a drum at the moment. It's obviously got some give to come. No real surprises there. You can change the cheek pads, but I'm guessing that, well, I'm not guessing, I know they'll give, so I suspect that within a space of time it will become much more compliant and softer on the head. At the moment it fits so well, it's untrue. I did try on several helmets whilst I was in the shop, and it has to be said that everything I tried on didn't come up to the spec of this, so this was the obvious choice. It's a bit of a ball ache to get on, because you can see that's not a big hole, you have to sort of ram your head in there. I'm guessing this will sort of give over time, but I know my XR11 was always a bit of a oof to get on. Obviously it's got the removable cheek pads in the event of the God forbid moment, and somebody will have to prise it off your head. All seems very good. The venting is said to be very good. The weight is states about 1500 grams with it fully dressed, so I've put the breath guard and the skirt on. That's actually the new skirt I bought for the XR11 this year. So we'll see how it goes. The only thing of real interest, well, two things, as I say, putting ancillary bits on there is going to be a ball ache, because of that is a part of the helmet, not really logical place to put anything is there, which is really too far forward for where you want. But we will see how it goes. I mean, obviously some people put things on the top, some people stick things on. Not overly fond of sort of the GoPro idea. And the drift camera, that would fit on there, just have to plumb the wiring in if I wanted it. I'll say the problem there is the Sennheiser, which will not fit nicely. I'm sure you can make it fit. The only other thing of note was, I'm reading all the specifications, there's a big warning saying that the visor combined with the pin lock restricts the light by something in the region of 79%. And the UK we have, I guess it's Europe, but certainly in the UK, 80% is the legal limit. So with the pin lock on, technically it contravenes the safety use, and it actually says on the side here, I doubt that you can see it, but mist retardant, but daytime use only with anti-fog sheet. So they're obviously covering their backs from the legal point of view. All this visor mechanism is quite elaborate, with all little bits and bobs and bits you can move about and tension it. Oh, it's all very complex. Getting the visor on and off is a bit of a ball ache. Once you've sort of worked it out, it's quite easy. But the old one used to be sort of pull that forward and it all unclipped nicely. This one does pretty much the same, but in a bit of a more elaborate manner. Shuts down with a central locking, as I'm sure any of its read in reviews know, so you can clip it or just crack it. Most people will probably crack it unless it's raining or you're going at speed, in which case you can click it. That's what these tensioners are for. If as it wears out, this needs a sort of smear of silicone occasionally just to keep it flexy. All good, and altogether a nice product, as you would expect from Shoei. It's nothing less than you would expect. I didn't go for a graphic, because nothing really grabs me in the graphics that I see, and obviously a plain white at this point in time from the sports bike shop in the UK is £339. Obviously that's UK prices, but if they're selling it for, well, it's about £100 off retail, I'm guessing. Maybe not quite that much, but that seems to be a reasonable price for a quality helmet in my eyes. Nothing's cheap. Only the helmet I'm wearing at the moment, just to do this video, is an AGV Compact ST, which is just, you know, it's okay. It does all things. It's not got very good venting. It's not got very good weather protection in the rain. Rain comes through the visor. You know, it is what it is, and of course it's heavy. This one is rated, built up at 1500 grams. I think this AGV tells you it's 1760 or maybe, and by the time you've got a few bits of bobs in there and whatever, I'm sure it's nearly 1800 grams, which is a considerable weight, and it's a noticeable difference. Only a couple of 100 grams, I know, but it is noticeable. So there you are. We shall look forward to trying it and reporting any issues that we do find with it, and hopefully it'll give a bit and become more of a natural thing to put on and off. There you go. At this point in time, very happy, so we'll see how we go.
Right, here's the follow-up on the Shoei NXR2. Went out last Saturday in truly appalling weather. From the moment we left, we met at a McDonald's cafe. From the moment we left there until I returned home about 1:30. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning until 1:30. We did stop for half an hour for a cup of coffee. Otherwise on the bike all day, all morning should I say. It rained down in a biblical sense. Just constant driving. Not the heavy summer rain, but sort of winter's rain. It was cold, it was wet, and a real test of this helmet. Travelled reasonable speeds. Most of the roads chosen by the ride leader were good fast A roads, so we were travelling at between 30 and 60, maybe 70, maybe a little more, but good speed. Came across a lot of standing water. Everything I wore started to fail, even my Daytona boots. Shock horror. The one thing that didn't fail was the helmet in most respects. Truly epic. One thing that I was majorly impressed with was the stability. Even comparing it with the XR 1100, this seemed to be like your head was fixed on a rail. Even when you turned your head to look, there didn't seem to be any manoeuvring, no buffeting. And my bike is the Triumph Sprint GT with, it's got the SE pack, so it's just got a little flip screen, which is an extremely noisy, buffety screen, and no adverse effect with this helmet at all. It really did hold a line in a noticeable manner. It just was noticeable. Downside, not really a downside. Obviously getting it off is a bit squeaky, certainly when everything is soaking wet. It did, yeah, it got a little bit wet round there, but obviously, you know, as I say, we're in biblical rain. I instinctively and incorrectly, as we're riding along, cracked it, which proved to be a mistake, because obviously in the sort of moments when I sort of up the helmet a bit, you get to sort of some part of traffic and you might up it a bit and put it down without clunking it down. It did get a couple of runs of water down inside, which I thought, that's my fault. And then I realised, well, obviously I realised that you click it down, because that seals it and then there's nothing. My reason for cracking it was instinctively I thought it would fog up. It never showed any signs of fogging. The venting, even with this vent closed, although I had taken the chin skirt out simply because with that in it just looks impossible to put it on. But anyway, that will go back in at a later date. I still felt a good flow of air over the visor even with that vent closed. With it open, it didn't seem massive, but it was you know, it's good venting. I tried with this, I opened this one, that didn't stay open for very long because that really did shove a lot of air straight through. These, I don't think I flicked these open even, because it was just the day when it was like, I think maxed out about 6 degrees, and as I say, heavy driving rain, so it was cold and miserable. So this was really brilliant. I have no complaints. The stability of it impressed me. It felt like it was really small on your head, but I think that's just due to the way that the aerodynamics work. Fantastic. Very impressed thus far. As I say, maybe a downside was that I found my gloved hands on that button to be slightly, it's getting used to it I think, but it's not a very large button. If you look, you notice I haven't got massive hands, and when you've got a big glove on, it's like, where is it, where is it, where is it? Probably just a bit of muscle memory going on there, but I did notice that I was clicking it and not being confident that the helmet would actually open, but obviously once I pushed it I realised it was. I think that's just a case of getting used to it. As I say, the venting, with it open you can feel a travel of air. You can really feel a travel of air through to that vent. No fogging in that sort of weather is very impressive as well. No issues, not really any issue. These little foam pieces felt a little bit nondescript, but of course they're very comfortable. It just didn't feel like much. You know, you almost expect them to be a big substantial tab, but they don't feel as if they're anything more than a folded over piece of foam. But I can't complain, nothing was adverse about them, and as I say, the comfort is probably, for me, as I've had an XR11, I tried on quite a few, and for me the comfort level and the fit is second to none. So as yet, all well and good. If anything fails on it, I will obviously make a statement on it, but at this point, great. As I say, the fact that you can't fit comms easily is a bit of a downside, but I'm sure that could be overcome with just a purchase of an alternative sort of system. That I haven't really looked at it yet, not bothered. Comms are on the other helmet, which I would tend to use for trainee observer riding with the IAM. So this one, as I say, I'm quite happy with it to be like it is, and very, very impressed. There you go.